All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Wayne Dupree, and you are watching the Wayne Dupree podcast. It is noon on Tuesday, trash day, taking out the trash. I don't know. I don't even know why they're late, but they're late. Let me introduce my co-host, Miss Leah Bella. We call her Blue Eyes. What's up, Lee?
Hi, you guys won't do a team handshake before the show, and I really want to do one. It's a team cheer. He cut me off. I was trying to do team cheer, and he went right to the show. I want a team cheer.
Brian, team cheer.
What's the little show that you guys used to watch, the cartoon, and they would all do the power thing?
Oh, what? Wonder Twin Powers.
Wonder Twin Powers.
Wonder Twins. Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Activate.
do. Wonder Twins, activate.
Yeah.
See, if you do it this way, Brian, you see, now we're activated.
Okay.
Now
Wonder
we
Twin
are
Powers
we
activate.
are the superheroes, as like we have in the corner of the.
Then you
thing
got to
there,
say
our logo.
form of.
Yeah. You guys.
Oh, that's right, because it changes you into like a notebook.
Yeah,
Form of a notebook.
Eagle or a monkey or something. Good.
Yeah, eagle, monkey.
Well, I mean, I have to have a notebook to take notes for the show, so I'd be in the form of a notebook.
Yeah, I'm saying. I don't know. I'll come up with it.
Welcome to everybody that's out there. Listen,
Hey,
something is going on right now. Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey are on. We're going to talk about some other stuff, and we're going to open up the phone lines just a few seconds. However, I want to let people know I've been way behind on Section 230. I've heard people talk about it. I really didn't know that much about it. I understand it a whole lot more now, and I understand why something has to be done with Section 230. Section 230 basically is an umbrella for Twitter and Facebook. And actually, I wish we had Section 230, actually.
There's some kind of protections over here.
and you get tax break or something too.
I mean, it protects them from being sued.
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically they can do whatever
they
they want to do. Oh, yeah, and so with that, they have become the regulators of free speech. And one Senator Cornyn, I think when Senator Cornyn was like, we had the Bill of Rights that protects the free press,
Mm-hmm.
but now we have private organizations that are curtailing free speech, and we don't have anything to go against them.
Then that opens up a can of
Think about it.
dangerous.
Yeah, there's no
dangerous-
rule, there's no regulations. I mean, we're in uncharted territory. I mean,
Right.
you all know that. I mean,
Right.
nobody could have foreseen this type of thing, but now we're in a situation where us, John Q. Public Citizen, is actually working with what the founders couldn't envision, the newspapers. We're actually hanging out, and then we're talking with each other in the public forum, in the public square, and now the newspaper editors are now shutting us down, telling us we can't say this, we can't do this. So now Section 230 now applies to Facebook and Twitter.
Watch the Social Dilemma, and it'll tell you about the algorithms and interesting things like that. Watch that one time, Social Dilemma, and I'll tell you, it's
What's crazy? Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Do I have it yet? Lindsey Graham had both Dorsey and Zuckerberg watch Social Dilemma. Now, I know Zuckerberg knew about it because he said, I'm familiar with it. Well, you have to be familiar about it because some people from Facebook left it and did the movie.
right.
Okay, so yeah, you
He's
have
so
to be familiar
pompous.
with it.
He said he's familiar with it.
Familiar
How
with it.
pompous? What pompous? I'm about ready to swear. I'm not going to though. But
who is it? Dorsey said he hadn't seen it, and
That's possible. That's
well, yeah,
possible. I mean, it's possible.
he's hopped up on mescaline in the middle of the desert every day. He doesn't even have a TV. Trust me, he didn't see it. Yeah, there he is, literally.
Well, Graham said, "Well, I suggest both of y'all check it out because the question of addiction came up about both of the platforms. I learned today that a millennial looks at their phone 157 times a day.
Wow.
I thought it was more than that.
157 times a day, and they have even given it a name. How people check their phones. It's called the slot machine effect.
They keep hearing it in their ears even after they leave the slots. You'll still hear the slot machine ringing in your ear.
And you keep
And-
on scrolling up and down like you are pulling down
Oh,
on slot.
okay.
You're going,
Right.
yeah.
That
They
makes
call it
sense.
Slot machine effect.
Yeah, you ever walk through Vegas? Oh,
Well, and they
I
also
hear 'em.
call
They're calling my name.
right,
What
and they
slot
also call it the
machine?
phantom
Which one?
ring. You
Yeah.
also hear your phone go off. And it didn't, but it's
Mhm.
phantom in your head because you hear it and you're so used to it.
I
You're
got
anticipating
phantom
it.
vibrates on my leg. My phone's not in my pocket.
Like personal
and I
problem.
still feel no, my phone's not in my pocket, but I'm on my thigh. And I feel it on my thigh. Y'all sick. Hey, y'all in the
I didn't
comments
say
section,
nothing. You said it.
You
I-
said
it's
you
on my
felt a
thigh.
vibration on your
In my
thigh.
pocket.
You got to
And what
tie
is
up
it
your
like?
leg. I mean, you got to feeling up your leg or thrill up your leg or something.
No, it's a phantom. It's a phantom vibrate from my phone.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
feel it on your thigh,
Yeah.
in your pocket?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Anybody knows what I'm talking about?
That sounds like the entity.
Give me
Thing.
some thumbs up. And
Yep.
yeah, see, look,
Woo,
Quentin says
that-
I know. I do.
Quentin,
Quentin's like,
look,
That sounds
What-
like the opening to a
You pay
1970s
Quentin.
Wild Chicka Wow Wow. If you
You
know what I'm
bet-
talking about.
yeah, you pay Quentin, so I don't even want to hear about Quentin.
Yeah.
Avocado Tree says phantom wife moves. Oh no. I'm trying to be real. I'm just trying to add to the show, guys. Just saying I see.
Hey,
Wait a
people are
second, but what? Oh,
Elaine
no.
said, "Oh my God, that's awkward."
What? What? I see it.
They got you, man.
What did he say? I didn't
They called Wayne a succubus.
Oh, that's not right.
That's
I guess
so
he's
messed
going
up.
to the
Forget it.
island.
I'm blocking. I'm blocking right now.
You're
That's
going to
Big
the
Paul.
island.
That's Big
Big
Paul.
Paul. Big Paul. We'll name the island after
Big
Big
Paul
Paul.
trying to get in the action.
Big Paul Island.
All right. I can't touch Big Paul, but all right. We'll see.
For now.
No, Lindsey Graham basically said that the platforms were addictive, and I don't know, maybe he just saw The Social Dilemma or something. But if y'all have not seen it, y'all have to see The Social Dilemma because it's almost like what's that movie I gave to you, Leah?
Which one? Does it start with a Z?
Yeah, Zeitgeist. It's almost like
Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist, yeah. And for those who haven't checked out Zeitgeist,
Watch it. Yeah, Brian, the bishop.
check out.
Why would I see that? Why would I see that?
I'm just saying, just check it out.
It'll change your world. It'll
What's
change
it about? Oh, is it about the Jesus thing?
No, it's not.
No.
Jesus thing is about everything.
It's about the Federal Reserve and how
Oh, I
the
know
money
all
gets
about that.
controlled.
Oh, I know all about that.
No, you
Oh,
haven't
they
seen it
always
yet.
say you can
No.
learn something new with everything. So
True, but there's a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's famous, world famous. But anyways, I digress. I'll
Well,
check it out.
Lindsey Graham was talking about the addiction, and he made a great point.
You know, we thought tobacco was a good thing for a long time, to the point that we sent it to our soldiers in combat. The more we realized about the addictive nature of tobacco, the more we changed our mind about telling the public about the product. So whether or not we do that with social media platforms, that these platforms can be addictive if used too often, I don't know if we need to go there, but I do know that Section 230, it exists today, is got to give. And I think there's Republican and Democrat concern about the power that's being used by social media outlets to tell us what we can see and what we can't, what's true and what's not, to the extent that Section 230, in my view, has to be rewritten. So that's the purpose of this hearing, is to find a way forward to bring about change.
Like I said, we as publishers of conservative content need a Section 230.
yeah,
You know, I mean, if Twitter and Facebook can have it, because again, they are trying to have their cake and eat it too. And what again, let me break it down real quick before we get into everything. They have protections so that we can't sue them. But then they're going beyond those protections and silencing free speech. They're trying to say what you can say and what you can't say. Why would you do that if nobody can sue you? You understand?
Right.
Why touch anything? Why ban anybody if it can't come back and touch you?
because it's just a drop in the bucket for communism. This is what they want. They want to be able to control what you see, what you read, and what you hear. and they want to make sure that it fits their narrative. If it doesn't fit their narrative, they're going to block it. They're going to censor it. They're going to say this could be false news. This is what they've wanted the entire time. They didn't actually know how to do it, but then Trump came into office. They were doing it behind the scenes. Trump comes in, exposes them. They have no choice. They have to blatantly do it in front of our face and apologize for it later. And you know how the old saying goes, it says it's easier to do it and then ask for and apologize for it than to ask for permission, right? It's easier to apologize than to ask for permission. And that's exactly what they're doing. Instead of saying to us, hey, do you mind if we start, censoring Trump? No, they just do it. And then after the election's over, they say, oh, sorry. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have silenced the Hunter Biden story. Sorry. Well, the damage is done. We already know a percentage of people, if they would have known about that story, they wouldn't have voted Biden. But the damage is done now. But they're getting away with it because of Section 230.
And like you're saying about the silencing of Donald Trump, the president of the United States, tweeting out on a regular basis, all his tweets are literally being silenced in the fact of this is disputed by XYZ, basically by us and by what we're saying. And so when you do find, and I'm gonna tell you,
Sydney,
she's not a liar. And she just said she's sitting on a tsunami of evidence. Thank you. Okay. Proceed forward. With that being said, there's going to be egg all over Twitter's face, all over Jack Dorsey, all over all of them. If this really pans out to be what's expected.
Notice that her tweets aren't getting.
No, they're not.
And well, and
it's hard to censor a lawyer.
Well, she also knows how to do lawyer speak too.
Right. That's what I mean. It's hard to do that.
We'll come back to Section 230 thing if we have a little bit of time, but it's like a whole door opened up for me today when I saw that. I was like,
but doesn't it just concern you that a guy in the middle of the desk, beard that long, gets to pick and choose what we say and how we say it and when we say it?
Well, how about being a robot that does the same thing? I mean,
right, but he had to program it. Somebody was behind it programming, and that's all comes back to Jack Dorsey and his crew at Twitter.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't feel good.
Again, the beta robot that is Mark Zuckerberg. He, just straight up 10 in metal can read talking points like a champion.
Yeah.
Joe Biden. And he always frames it in. I know we're still on it, ladies and gentlemen. He frames the conversation like he loves his community, almost like a god. I'm serious, man. It's almost like he has a god-like type attitude because he talks about, well, we try to take care of our communities and make sure that our community.
Yeah, he does.
It's like, but that's not on you,
right? I've told it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've told this story before about the little G God complex, about the social medias. Back in the day, right after Twitter started to make a come up, I actually purchased with a couple other guys a clone of Facebook, and it was my job to go back in the coding and the back end and get it running, get it up and running. It was an adult version, so we were like, okay, this is 18 plus versus Facebook being everybody. Y'all thought your photos were private. Y'all thought your passwords were unseeable.
Yeah, that is true.
Y'all thought I couldn't unlike or relike or make you friends. There wasn't nothing we couldn't do to screw with you, to mess with you, to create the community even more by making you friends with somebody or removing you from somebody. It was a little G complex, and it was quite scary at the time. But fast forward till now, I'm only talking about 20, 30, 40, 50,000 users versus, a billion, 500,000, whoever's actually involved in it. It's huge. You're talking about world leaders putting up private stuff that they think is private. World leader passwords, world leader phone numbers that they think nobody's going to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that quit, was it Twitter? He shut Trump's account out and quit.
I remember that too.
Too much control.
I remember that too. He hit one button and said, "I'm out of here. I'm going." And all Twitter people, it's
just a joke.
We sorry.
I think we should just go back. I think we should go back to party lines and newspapers on Sundays.
Oh, Pillow Talk.
Yeah, that's
a good,
it.
That's a good movie. Rock Hudson. Come on, man. Back in the day when he was good looking.
First it's a Phantom Tingle, and now it's Pillow Talk.
Yeah, he is just.
If you haven't seen Pillow Talk, you ain't seen nothing.
What are you?
I'm sorry.
He's loving it.
And Big Paul, be quiet. I'll let you.
Let me see what he said.
Early one. I'll let you get that early one. Pipe it up.
See, he agrees with me. Pillow Talk.
Yeah. Well,
I bet he does.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a chance, follow us on Parler and CloutHub. Okay, follow us on Parler and CloutHub.
There's our names down below. What we are.
Yeah, Smith is on there. Somebody said that they couldn't find Smith on Parler. No, wait. Brian, did you change your name on Parler?
No, it's always been SMYTH.
It's not. It's Brian P. Smith.
Well, that is there too.
Oh my, I'm confused. This
There's
is like
also-
this is like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory of names for social media accounts.
Okay, well, Smith
SMYTH.
SMYTH for both. I will change that. For Parler, but it's Smith for both. So it's Wayne Dupree, Shell, Leah Bella, and Smith for both Parler and CloutHub. Okay, y'all make sure that Brian is starting to post on Parler now. I checked that out, so that's really good. CloutHub is my home away from home, so make sure that you check out CloutHub and all that they have to offer.
And thanks for sharing the show. I'm seeing a lot of people saying just shared the show. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Holly said shared the show. Thank you.
Parler. I mean, honestly, I'm shocked. Parler has shown me so much.
Wakes up your eyes, doesn't it?
As into what a conservative platform can be. CloutHub has a more everything to it, but Parler is, I'm not going to say it's a safe space, but it's a way that conservatives can connect. Now, there are a whole lot of trolls that have jumped on there.
Yeah, there's always going to be trolls,
There
no
are
matter
trolls.
what.
Yeah,
No matter what in this world, there's always going to be trolls. No matter how much you protest it, no matter how much you hold signs up, there's always going to be trolls.
Now, let me open up the phone lines just for a few minutes. I want to know, will you or can you ever accept Joe Biden, a Joe Biden presidency? The liberal media is pushing this thing every day. Yesterday, there was a press conference, and the more they do it, the more they're trying to get you used to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Spoon feeding it to you, just like they do communism.
They kept on calling him president-elect.
They know how to do this, man. I mean, look, let's give them some credit. They're geniuses when it comes to brainwashing. They are.
It's all or none for them right now.
Yeah.
It's all or none.
931, can you or will you ever accept a Joe Biden presidency as a MAGA supporter?
Keep it PG.
931, go ahead.
I would imagine it being very hard for conservatives to accept that because the voting fraud, the statistical analysis of it, that's just wrong.
You have to turn down your TV so that you can talk to us.
I just did, so hopefully that will help.
Okay, great. So you find it hard to believe because of the voting fraud, you said?
With the voter fraud, I see half of the nation just not accepting it. It just doesn't seem statistically improbable or likely. It just doesn't seem like it's legitimate.
Okay.
Right. 73 million people voted for Trump.
Well,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. When Brian throws that number out, he forgets to say that nearly 80 million voted for Biden. But then we don't
If
know.
that's even how is that even plausible?
Right.
I just
Looking though at statistics though that Raheem Kassam has thrown out and Steve Cortez has thrown out, if those are accurate and like what Giuliani is saying and what Sidney Powell is saying, if any of that stuff is legitimate, half the country can't accept that.
Right, exactly.
Well said.
And if we know if we really think about one thing, they are good at expanding the popular vote because they did the same.
Like you said,
yeah,
they keep doing that with this popular acceptance of it and this kind of mob rule or democratic way of doing things rather than sticking with the fact that we are a constitutional republic and that we have representative government.
Right.
It's what's so annoying about it is half the country still understands the Constitution and half of it is too ignorant to do so.
They don't like the Constitution.
They don't like it. They want it just to disappear, but it can't just disappear.
Right.
Well, I think the people who don't like it don't understand. They clearly don't understand because it's in their favor.
Well, exactly too, and like popular pop stars and artists and so forth out of Hollywood want to push this thing that mob rule can go ahead and just take over and we can just throw away what we've got. But I mean, we've got 200 plus years of history writing on the Constitution and says the law must be upheld. So the rule of law must be upheld.
Okay. Well, look, thank you for your call. We really appreciate it, and
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the show too.
You made some good points.
So love you guys.
All right.
Thanks.
We love you too. We love you too. We got 740 calling in. 740. The question is, you as a MAGA supporter, are you a MAGA supporter?
Right.
Yes, I am.
All right.
I have to be very careful. I'll be honest with you. I love you guys' show. I love Parler. I recently signed up. I am a social worker.
Okay.
And I am not supposed to be MAGA. I'm not supposed to be a MAGA supporter.
Right.
There's a lot of us have to hide. We're afraid to say we're conservative. We're afraid to say we support Make America Great Again for fear of being kicked out of associations, for fear of, having people try to take away jobs. Colleges are very liberal. You have to hide in school. There's a lot of stuff going down for us behind the scenes that most of us are afraid to speak up about. But to be honest, I feel like I have a responsibility to speak up about. So we are being oppressed. So yes, I am.
Yeah, you make such a great point. Sometimes when I go to my doctor's appointment, I had to change doctors. They wanted to know my occupation. I was afraid to put that I was on the show because I was afraid that if they were crazy liberals, was I going to get the right treatment if they knew that I was on a talk show like this? I was worried.
You never know.
And you have to be nowadays.
Yeah, my sister's the same way. She's a school teacher, and she absolutely lies to all the other teachers because how violent they are throughout the day, talking about how physically violent that they would be to Trump if they could just meet him. That's all day, every day, just violent.
And it's within the entire system. The NASW in New York put out a broad statement that grouped everybody together. Now, from my understanding, and everybody correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're segregating a people and you are biased and you are prejudiced against people, you group everybody into one group because of sins of some. So the broad statement is that white social workers are racist and white social workers are the problem. And now we are oppressing everybody within our own profession. And I think that is very stereotypical, very unfair, very biased because, again, it's placing the sins of some onto everybody. And those are just some of the fear tactics being used. We're being called names, just like in general conservative Republicans. I mean, I hear it all the time. I live in a small, very conservative community, but it's sad. I feel like I have to hide from some of my own family because they're young and they're drinking the Kool-Aid. They're buying into this. And they're very persuasive. I mean, they really make it sound good, Trump is, He is the evil that's in the world. He is racist. He is this. He is that. And it's scary how many people will believe things just because the media says so.
You got to let them know that's projection from the left. That's 100% projection from the left.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, thank you. Thank you for your call, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are taking phone calls. Usually we take phone calls on Thursday, Talk Thursday, but I thought that this was a very important subject. 316, I'll be right with you in just a few seconds. If most of y'all are on social media, well, actually 405. 405 will be right with you in just a few seconds. The reason why we're doing this because and I hope that y'all been noticing the same thing, but they are really pushing the president-elect Joe Biden, and they're pushing it almost to the point where you just can't take it away from him. Now, I'm sure they won't have no problem taking it away from him, but if he does get in, if they really do make this happen, after 4 years of resistance, after 3.5 years going on 4 years of resistance from the left, and what they have done to President Trump and what they have did to you in stores, supermarkets, restaurants, at your house, in your front yard, how they're taking your hats off and burned them, hit you, the physical attack you and stuff. Can you accept a Joe Biden presidency? 405, go ahead.
For me, absolutely not. He has no right to even declare himself as president. And with everything that's been going on, with the burning and all that, it's like I've never seen anything like it. This dude's really trying to change our country and turn it into something that doesn't represent America at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like Trump said, they're not after me. I'm just in the way. They're after you, the people.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 914. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you? How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm good. You want to know? Well, you want to know my answer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This isn't even an answer, okay? Because the Democrats for 4 years have been planning this deal from President Trump. They knew that this country was finally winning and becoming its own entity, and they didn't like it. They're looking for us to be communist and socialism. And I think we have worked way too hard. Trump has worked way too hard to get this country back.
What is your...
I swear to God, the Lord will always prevail in the end, okay?
All right.
If they cannot prove this, that is a big problem, because it's not about Biden. It's about Obama, Kamala Harris. You know what's going to happen. Biden is going to retire, or something is supposedly going to happen to him, and Kamala, who hates everybody, is going to then become president? Okay, I don't think so, all right? She was the one that made the big problem with Brett Kavanaugh, an innocent guy who was brought through the mud, him and his family, for something he never did. Then they try to do the same thing with anyone that supports Trump, and I'm so sick of it. Okay, if we're going to be unified, they should have not given Trump the problems they gave him. They should have, from day one, accepted the results and united us instead of trying to call Trump supporters racist and all that stuff. We're not. We just love our country, and we don't want to be taken over by China or any other crazy nation. It's happening now. They're controlling us with this whole COVID. Do this, do that. How about no? I have the freedom to do what I want. It's the first freaking amendment.
All right. Thank you, caller.
Amen.
Thank you so much. That's passion.
I agree with her, though.
She's right about Kamala. Kamala
Yeah.
has no experience in foreign policy. She'll bend over backwards for anybody who's going to give her the right amount of money or give her the right amount of attention. I mean, let's just
Literally.
be honest, Hill. Yeah,
Literally.
Billy Brown. And I fear her presidency because it is probably inevitable. The man's 78 years old. He possibly could have some type of dementia. We have seen his gaffes. So what is our future with Kamala? That's scary to think. Again, if we've got a lot of liberals on here, if you can tell me some positive things about her, that's great, because I can't find one. I see that she is good.
917. Go ahead.
These are all out of New York. New York.
917. Can you accept the Joe Biden presidency?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's what this man represents, how it's affecting our country. I mean, just like what others have said, you know, you're automatically labeled and mistreated because you're a Trump supporter, and now he supposedly wants unity. How come he hasn't condemned the people for all this violence that has been going on? This is ridiculous. I am Colombian descent, proud of it, and I'm a proud American. My parents came here as immigrants, worked very hard, and I just don't see how this man can change or make the U.S. great. Like, he's not Donald Trump. He's not a businessman. He says Antifa is an idea. I mean, come on, really? We need a strong leader. We have a strong leader, and I will not give into it.
Do you think Joe Biden earned 80 million votes?
Absolutely not. I know so many Hispanics who voted for Trump, who maybe the first time didn't because they weren't sure. I was one of them. I didn't vote for either Hillary or Trump. But I know so many people who are hardworking and no. I don't think he won that many votes. Absolutely not.
All right. Thank you, caller. Yeah.
I mean, to win more than Obama.
I just had to throw that out there, man.
No. It's
the most votes in 244 years in American history. The
That
most
does
votes.
seem a little unusual.
Not by a little bit, by 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
For
if
a
they
guy who didn't even campaign. He didn't even campaign.
He stayed in his basement. He let COVID campaign for him. Kamala didn't come out, and when she did, all she did was laugh. Maybe they were just a little too trigger happy whenever they decided to do this fraud, if they did, and they went a little overboard. You know, sometimes that happens, and then you get this result because it is kind of strange.
That's right. You know, he is 559. We have been asking the question: can you accept the Joe Biden presidency after everything that the left has done to President Trump over the last 4 years?
No, I would not accept it. Would I tolerate it? I mean, almost have to if it ever got to that point. But no, I wouldn't accept it. You know, if they don't reveal like what's happened or what's happening right now in our country with the fraud, I probably will never vote an election again because I feel like we're basically having our rights taken from us right now as Republicans, as conservatives. Like, we're not being given the choice anymore. Like, we're basically going to be voted out forever if they get away with what's happening right now. So
yeah, I lived in California. How are you doing out there?
Accept it.
How are you doing out in California?
Ugh.
You know, surprisingly, so we live in the Bay Area, and Trump has quite a following out here. You would be really surprised that he has a lot of people who love him here. And, you know, a lot of people here really thought that California might flip red, but when they called California divided 7 seconds after our polls closed, we all called BS because it's just not right. Like, we're being forgotten out here. And I mean, I'm a lifelong conservative. I was basically born into a conservative family, and even the county I was born and raised in consecutively red since I was born turned blue this year. And it's just weird to me because there's still so many people out there that love Trump in California.
Right.
So I hope that he doesn't forget us out here. I mean, we're all planning our exit, but still, like, some of us really don't want to leave. Like, we've been here our whole lives, and we want to hope that California will change, but we'll see what happens with this recall that's in effect right now. Like, we have a lot of people, I think over 1 million people have signed the recall against our governor, so we'll see what happens.
All right, then. Thank you, dear. On Parler, some of the responses are: no way, do not pay tax to an illegitimate president. BBB84 says, no, why should we accept someone who wants to destroy our country and they have done nothing to get rid of Trump? We should do the same if Biden wins, because he is the corrupt one. And this one, I watched his press conference yesterday. I don't trust a single word that comes out of his mouth.
And they were so easy on him. Media didn't ask him anything.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to be for the next 4 years. We'll never get a tough answer out of Joe. The way that they questioned Trump for the last 3 years just made it, I mean, to think how sick the media has been to him. And now they're going to baby Joe. That, I mean, it's a shame. But my question is, what if this gets overturned and Trump does get in? What happens to the country?
Burn, baby, burn. 520, go ahead.
Personally, for me, as a military person and as a former law enforcement officer, I'm kind of stuck with no choice but to accept a Biden presidency. Unfortunately, I wish for a different events. So now I just got to hope that we can pull out Georgia to have some type of check and balances.
All right, thank you, dude. Thank you, man. 479, you are live. Go ahead. Go ahead, you're live. Turn down your TV.
I am here with you now.
Go ahead.
I'm here with you.
Okay. You're live. Go ahead.
The question is, would I accept a Biden presidency? Absolutely not.
Why?
Why? Because I believe our election was absolutely fraudulent.
Okay.
What are you seeing? You're out there in Oregon right now? What are you seeing out there in Oregon where you live?
I'm actually in Arkansas. I'm not in Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you seeing out there in Arkansas?
What I'm seeing is the media is basically, just like you were saying earlier, babying Joe, and they've done nothing but negative press for Trump. They've not acknowledged any of his accomplishments. There's so much reporting on the voting systems and the possible fraud that's occurred, but we're not seeing that on mainstream media. We're having to actually search and look for it ourselves.
All right. Thank you, caller. 423, you are live as a MAGA supporter, and you are a MAGA supporter. Yes.
Yes, I am.
All right. After everything that you've seen, could you smoke them peace pipe and support a Biden presidency?
No, there's no way in hell that I could ever support Biden as presidency. There's no way I could ever support Kamala Harris as a vice president, even. The whole concept is just a joke to me to even believe that people would vote for someone who supports the things that he puts out there. It's quite ridiculous. I'm currently a Tennessean. I live near Chattanooga, but I'm born and raised in Florida. And everything that I've seen says that President Trump should have won this election in the landslide. And the whole silence of the media, of the mainstream media, is just so ridiculous and so overwhelming. It's like a slap in your face. How can you not see it, people?
All right.
So, that's what I got to say, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much for watching the show. I want to thank everybody that's watching, all three of us. We really appreciate y'all watching today and calling in on a day that wasn't even supposed to have calls. I mean, believe me, now we might not be able to get to all of you today, but we're going to open up the phone lines again on Thursday too. But we're trying to get in as many as we can during the show. We broadcast between 12 and 1 every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we do this because, honestly, we can have people in here interviewing them all the time, but
We'd rather hear from you.
Most of you have better ideas than the people that round the circuit to everybody's show saying the same thing.
Same talking points. Yep.
Same thing all the time, but y'all have a different perspective. Plus, you're the American people. Y'all see what's going on in your community.
We want to hear your voice.
Right.
You don't see Fox News having call-ins. You don't see them bringing their audience in. We do.
When CNN does, it don't go well for them.
It does not go well.
724, you're live. Go ahead.
How y'all doing? Hi, Wayne.
What's up, man?
Hi, Leah. Hi,
Hey,
Hey.
I'm this Green County hick from Pennsylvania.
you're from Indiana County, aren't you?
No, I'm from Greene County, Pennsylvania.
Greene County. Okay.
And yes, ma'am. And boy, I'm discouraged. I haven't watched the news since the idiots on Fox told me that somehow 80 million invisible Democrats voted for Biden. Wherever the hell they are, I wish they would show up. I mean, there's a lot of frustrated people here in southwestern Pennsylvania. I have several friends and anyone that I know. It was, I live in a really rural area. My neighbors are cows.
Mine too.
When you drive around in where I'm at, I don't know what the Democrats think. They must think that everyone is just completely stupid.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But when you ride around in my general area where I'm at, you could go within, I'm going to say 30 miles. I'm only maybe 8 miles from the West Virginia line. And you don't see any Biden signs, and I don't think it's anything out of fear. You know,
No.
Joe Biden didn't win no election in this country because wherever these 80 million invisible Democrats are, we're going to find them. We are going to find them. We're not going to settle for this.
They're over
It's far from over.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is our president, and we will fight to the death if necessary to defend him. And I don't want him to concede anything because there is no concession. He took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and these traitors are not going to get away with this. They've been getting away with it forever. And finished. We're done.
And honestly, don't you think? I mean, he deserved a second term. Look at what he's done in the Middle East.
Based on work.
He deserved it.
Out. Yeah.
He deserved it. Whether you liked him or not, he deserved a second term.
Yeah.
Well, what I see is happening. Remember, I'm just a novice, and I'm some hick from Greene County, Pennsylvania, so I'm not really included in anything. But this has been going on with voting, and I've been I'm a registered Whig. Of course, you all know who the Whigs are.
Yep.
And I'm probably one of the last Mohicans on the face of the earth because I'm against outside entity alignments. I don't like aligning with outside entities, and Donald Trump thinks like me. We don't need people from outside of this country to take care of us. We are more than capable of taking care of ourselves. So what had happened was, I think that Obama, George Bush, ever since after Reagan, everybody knows about George Bush Sr. He ran the CIA, probably the most criminal agency on the face of the earth.
Yeah, he's deep state for sure.
People with common sense know that. So they were devising these voting machines, and just fortunately, as time went by and the internet finally came to volition, these people were able to attach to that from anywhere in the world on any device and do anything they want. And they've been able to do that. And the only reason that the Democrats secured the House in 2018 was due to voter fraud. Anyone with common sense would know that. And it's just, I want my president to uphold my Constitution, and these Democrats make me sick. If I see them open their mouth one more time about upholding the Constitution, I'm ready to shove it down their throat.
All right.
Because they're liars. They are liars, the biggest liars on the planet. And I pray that Sydney is really telling me the truth.
Yeah, me too.
And she has all this evidence, because I want to see these people go down without no force.
Right.
But if necessary, and it comes to the point where we have to actually use force to remove these people, then that's the way it's going to be.
All right.
And I know 1,000 people just like me.
All right.
It's just
Philadelphia.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you, Philadelphia.
Appreciate everything you all do.
All right.
Thank you.
This stuff wants to make me cry. Are these people crazy? I mean, do they really think people are this stupid? 80 million invisible Democrats. Where are they?
Right.
Where
Right.
are they? I want to.
All right. Before we get back to the phone calls, let me Ted Cruz just own Jack Dorsey, and y'all have got to see it because it's making its round on social media. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Let me play
Let me
this.
shift to a different topic. Mr. Dorsey, does voter fraud exist?
I don't know for certain.
Are you an expert in voter fraud?
No, I'm not.
Well, why then is Twitter right now putting purported warnings on virtually any statement about voter fraud?
We're simply linking to a broader conversation so that people have more information.
No, you're not. You put up a page that says, quote, voter fraud of any kind is exceedingly rare in the United States. That's not linking to a broader conversation. That's taking a disputed policy position, and you're a publisher when you're doing that. You're entitled to take a policy position, but you don't get to pretend you're not a publisher and get a special benefit under Section 230 as a result.
That link is pointing to a broader conversation with tweets from publishers and people all around the country.
Mr. Dorsey, would the following statement violate Twitter's policies? Quote, absentee ballots remain the largest source of potential voter fraud.
I imagine that we would label it so that people can have more context in read through.
How about this quote? Quote, third-party organizations, candidates, and political activists. Voter fraud is particularly possible where, quote, third-party organizations, candidates, and political party activists are involved in, quote, handling absentee ballots. Would you flag that as potentially misleading?
I don't know the specifics of how we might enforce that, but I imagine a lot of these would have a label pointing people to a bigger conversation.
Well, you're right. You would label them because you've taken the political position right now that voter fraud doesn't exist. I would note both of those quotes come from the Carter-Baker Commission on Federal Election Reform. That is Democratic President Jimmy Carter and former Secretary of State James Baker. And Twitter's position is essentially voter fraud does not exist. Are you aware that just 2 weeks ago in the state of Texas, a woman was charged with 134 counts of election fraud? Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware of that.
If I tweeted that statement with a link to the indictment, would you put a warning on it that says, well, the Democratic Party position right now is voter fraud doesn't exist?
I don't think it's useful to get into hypotheticals, but I don't believe so.
You don't believe so? Well, we're going to test that because I'm going to tweet that and we'll see what you put on it.
That's
I'm going to tweet that out. We're going to see what happens.
That's great. Jack Dorsey. The 2 brain cells that he does have left. He says, I don't think hypotheticals matter. Shut up.
Ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen,
man.
we are taking phone calls. We're taking phone calls from MAGA supporters. I mean, honestly, I wish that we had some liberals out there so that we can talk to you and find out where your mind was. I mean, if you are a liberal, you can always call in. You don't have a problem with y'all calling in.
Can I backtrack on a statement that I've held for many years?
Go ahead.
If Ted Cruz runs for president, he's got my vote. I'm down. I'll do it. I'll do it.
No.
I'll do it.
No.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
No. 215. Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right.
I'm calling in. I'm one of your longtime listeners. I actually live in Philly, so I'm kind of like in the epicenter of where the trash is pretty much taking place.
Thank you.
I'm a longtime Philly resident, West Philly born and raised. Philly is known for stealing votes and doing funky business. I mean, I used to be a Democrat. I voted for Trump. I love President Trump. I'm happy with what he's doing. I support him. My mom voted for him. I mean, we actually saw voter fraud like taking place at the polling station that we went to. Our polling station was supposed to open up at 7 o'clock. They actually didn't open up until 8 o'clock because they didn't have the machine set up. And then you had people actually going who were trying to vote under other people's names. And then you also had people who were showing up where when they went to vote, somebody else had already signed the book as if they had voted. And, you know, the people who worked at the polling station, they really didn't know what to do. So then they turned around and just let them vote a second time.
Oh.
So, I mean, I can tell you, like I said, as someone who lives in Philly, it runs rampant here. I mean, this is probably my last year in Philly. I'm headed 95 south to Florida. Right here, the weather is nice. There's beautiful women, and there's a lot of conservatism that would happily accept me in.
That's awesome.
What's happening to President Trump, I honestly think that he's getting ripped off of his second term. You know, the whole Russia collusion thing that they told us for 4 years straight that he was working for the Russians. I didn't believe that to begin with.
Right.
To me, like the mainstream media is like a GPS system that hasn't been updated. When it tells you to go right, you go right. It tells you to go straight.
That's great.
And, you know, it's a shame to see Fox News jumping in bed with the rest of the media. They used to throw them under the bus every single night. But it seems like, I don't know, I guess like maybe Fox is under the mindset, well, this guy might not get a second term, so let's distance ourselves away from them, so hopefully we'll be accepted in and don't get beat up.
Exactly right.
I mean, come on. That isn't right. Your ratings went up because of Trump. A lot of these other Republicans that aren't doing anything, you got reelected because of Trump. The Republican Party brought in all this money because of Trump. And it's like, where are you guys at? You're standing quietly on the sidelines, letting the Democrats beat this dude up because maybe secretly you guys actually want him out because he was calling out you guys' ineffectiveness too.
Caller.
So, I mean,
Caller.
it ain't right. Yes.
What's your first name?
Sean.
Sean, you need a podcast.
Yeah, you do, bro. For real.
You should start one.
Or at least be a co-host on somebody's show.
I remember Leah was saying something like she didn't see a lot of signs in certain places. And I was actually talking to a friend that lives out in the Philadelphia suburbs. And he was saying, you know what, man, a lot of us kind of have to be smart about when we support Trump. I would love to put a MAGA sticker on the back of my truck, but I don't want to come outside and find my tires flat or my truck up in flames.
Right.
So a lot of areas that you actually drive through around the Philadelphia area, like the Philadelphia suburbs, people weren't putting Trump signs out because you don't want your vehicle to be destroyed. You don't want rocks thrown through your windows. But I could tell you there were a lot of quiet Trump supporters that really wanted him to get a second term. And a lot of the people that you saw putting the Biden signs out, I mean, they were Hillary supporters to begin with. But there were a lot of us here in Philly that really wanted him to get a second term, and it's a shame. I mean, just like they said in Nevada, they're throwing out one of their local elections because something about voter irregularities. Then you got in Texas the so-called, I mean, not Texas, Georgia, the so-called lady who's supposed to be doing a recount. Project Veritas just released a video that she voted for Biden.
Well, look, do me a favor. I gotta let you go, but I don't know whether I follow you on Twitter or not, but if I don't, I want you to send me a DM. I also want you to start a podcast. If you need some help, I'll send you some help. So, and then I want to promote that podcast because you have a serious voice that needs to be heard. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do that for me. I'm not playing. Your voice needs to be heard.
Oh, there's lots of help, lots of direction that we know of that I can personally help you with, just on the back end. Absolutely.
All right. 503, you are live. Will you accept a Joe Biden presidency?
No. And it's hard for me to say for being a person that was in the Marine Corps for 10 years, military family. I was the first female in my family to be military with my kids and stuff like that. And it's just astounding. I was joined before September 11th. So I was there with Bush when we went over. Being there with Obama made it even worse.
Right.
Just getting out, coming home with my kids, being a single mom, losing my job because he had these great ideas. And coming back from that, we are huge Trump supporters here. But we can't display any of it because, unfortunately, I live near Portland. I live in the same county as Portland. And it is.
Sorry.
What was that?
I said sorry that you have to live there.
Yes. We want to move so bad, but unfortunately, at this time, we're not allowed to. So the problem is that you're not safe. You have your own little tiny neighborhood where you reach out, and a lot of us are conservative within my neighborhood, so I'm very grateful for that. There's a lot of military here. But anytime you go outside of that, it is super scary. Even going downtown to the VA is like the most nerve-wracking thing for my PTSD.
Wow. Well, look, I'm praying for you, darling, and praying for you and your family out there in the West. I know it's hard. And hopefully you're able to leave that area. But thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a couple more phone calls. Today is Tuesday. Yeah, today is Tuesday. But y'all are killing on these phone calls. Yeah,
I've got friends trying to get through and they're complaining because they can't.
We're sorry. We're trying. 313, go ahead. Hello, 313.
How you doing?
Hey.
Turn the radio down.
I'm trying to cut out my volume right now.
All right.
Okay.
Can you accept a Joe Biden presidency as a MAGA supporter? Everybody that we have talked to has said no.
Absolutely not. First off, I'm 70 years old, and life in prison doesn't have any real meaning to me anymore.
Right.
I understand what you're talking about. I understand.
I ain't seen nothing.
That was funny. That's good.
I like that. I really like that. So what do you think? So how do you plan on rectifying? Well, yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, let's not get into that. Just what do you fear the most about a Biden presidency? What do you think would be the worst?
Create a problem, but by God, I'm not going to step down either.
Right. Look, what's your first name? Jim. Look, I'm gonna adopt you into my family, man. I just love the way you said that, though. A whole lot of people might not have got it, but I got it just as soon as you said it, and I love you.
I kind of feel like we're all in prison now.
I love you guys. I watch you almost every day.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you,
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate you, Jim.
All right. He said, life in prison. Doesn't mean
Prison.
No,
No, it's 70.
sure don't. Nope.
All right. Usually we don't answer unknown persons because
you never know what you're gonna get.
Dangerous.
But yeah, we'll.
You feeling frisky?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, what was the question?
Hey, what?
No, I thought you were asking a question, that's all.
Can you accept a Joe Biden presidency?
Hell no.
Oh, all right. What part of the country are you from?
Now in New York, we actually just had a Republican or a woman that went into Congress. So, my borough is the only borough in New York that's most Republican.
That's
awesome,
man.
You know what? I saw that. I saw that. She beat out a Democrat. Is that right?
Yeah. Max Rose. He's gone. You don't like him. He's gone.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, she surprised a whole lot of people, and I don't know if this is a big change for New York or it will continue to be a big change for New York. But when I saw that, it reminded me of what AOC did to the Democrat a couple years ago. But this time a Republican did it, and the media is not really talking about it. But I'm glad that you brought it to everybody's attention.
Yeah, thank you.
For a woman, so that's even better.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Oh, I like that call. That was a good call.
I was a little bit afraid of it. 310. Go ahead.
Oh, out in LA.
I will not accept it, and I knew it was going to be an issue the second we went to vote, and my husband went to put his ballot in, and they said it wasn't accepted, and they had to print him a new one because they said they were having issues with the machines. And we just looked at each other and shook our heads. We're like, nice.
Hey, what part of LA County are you in?
We are in Torrance.
So you're saying that your husband tried to insert his ballot and it wouldn't go in?
They said, oh, it won't accept this one. Let's print you out a new one. and they had to print
That's
it
not
out.
good.
And then everything went fine then, but he said, oh yeah, we've been having this trouble for a couple days. And I said, oh.
Right.
Okay.
Printing out a new one.
Just
Huh?
like, and it's so weird because it shows our county as almost all blue, and like we know that's not true. Like we have a lot of friends that we know voted for Trump.
Do you have to show ID when you vote? I know when I lived in Long Beach, there was no ID required.
No, we didn't have to. I actually took my son, and it was his first time ever voting, and I was so excited. And I said, you know, pull out your ID, and they go, oh, we don't need that. And I go, oh.
Do it anyways. I know. Good for you.
That was just like, and it was funny because we go in and, you know, I go in, my fingernails, my toenails are American flags. I had my American flag sweatshirt on, and a lady that worked there made a comment to me. She goes, oh, I guess we can tell who you're voting for. I said, yeah.
Isn't that a shame?
Yeah, pro-America in the People's Republic of California.
Wow.
Bunch of,
yeah.
Leah,
God bless you.
thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Leah hit that. Isn't that?
Isn't that a shame? Hey, when I was at a yard sale down the road, I said to the lady, oh, you must be voting Trump. You have your American flag out. And she goes, oh, no, I'm voting Joe. I forgot to put that back in. That was just for Labor Day. She hurried up and scurried and put her flag away. I'm like, that just shows you how nuts.
A piece of garbage.
Piece of garbage.
Before we go, and we'll probably take another couple of phone calls. But before we go, I did want to say,
I want to talk a little bit about your life off of that call because it's been difficult, as I understand it. You and your wife have received death threats. This after you were in fact endorsed by President Trump. Now Republicans are piling on. One of those threats said, "You better not botch this recount. Your life depends on it." That's pretty clear. Who do you blame for those text messages? Do you put some blame on the president and his allies who have called your work into question?
I think it's everyone that's just been spinning people up, and understand that we have a lawful process in Georgia. I'm a conservative Republican, always have been. I've never voted for a Democrat. A lot of these people that are, spinning up the crowd used to be Democrats. I've always been a conservative Republican, and I want to make sure we have a lawful process because I think integrity still matters. We understand that we came through a tough election in 2018. Stacey Abrams lost. She lost by 53,000 votes, and she never went away. She never admitted that she was beaten. So I think making sure that we have election integrity is very important. It's making sure that we finish the drill, that we make sure that we count all legal votes. And at the end of the day, and that's what this audit is going to do, we're going to count every single paper ballot, and then those will be the results. And that is what the state will certify.
let me tell y'all something. Yeah, man, y'all make people want to leave the party with this stupid stuff, man. Y'all make people want to leave. Let the man do his job. He's a conservative Republican. Jesus.
Unless he's getting trolled. Hold on. I gotta see proof of who's calling death threats for this guy. I can't see that to be us.
I can because we do have radical people on our side. I mean, we have to call it out the way it is called out. Some of our people probably don't believe that he's a conservative Republican.
That part is if he calls it for Trump, death threats from the liberals, then he's screwed either way.
Right.
I mean, we are in the middle of a war here. This is what goes on.
The battle for the soul of America, whether your soul is going to be owned by the Democrats or not.
I mean, believe me. I believe that it could be somebody on the right because people on the right told me that I wasn't even a Christian or a conservative when I supported Trump. So, I mean, yeah. Oh, no. I can tell you them too.
Were they cruise crew people?
Cruise
crew people?
Yeah.
Man, they were vicious. I'll tell you, you cruise crew people were vile during the run up.
Block me on Twitter. Haven't unblocked me since.
They leave negative reviews on Facebook. Yeah.
Said that I wasn't Christian. Went to YouTube and hit the unlike button every time you could. Report it.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you.
Talking about. And these are people on our side.
Well, let me tell you something, Wayne. These people on our side, you should see the comments in the comment section because they're loving you now. So that's a good thing. Everybody's, they're loving the show. So we shout out to the audience because
Thank
at least we've got the good conservatives.
No, we
talking
do.
with us today.
We do. And
we appreciate that.
And the reason why we have the better conservatives is because y'all want the truth. Y'all want to hear from the American people. Y'all are tired. I mean, look, even though you have all three of us and, you know, we give you our opinions, we like to hear from y'all. And for y'all to hear each other, I'm sure that puts a shock to your system. You know what? I'm not alone. And it's not just those three. I can listen to these other people that are calling in, and they are saying the same thing.
Right.
We're not alone. We are way much bigger than what
the media spins it.
Yeah.
Yep. Diane says, love the show, best on Twitter. We just got some super hearts. Thank you, everybody, for the super hearts.
Yeah.
We're watching them. We know you're there. So thank you, Jack, for the super hearts. And just like Wayne said, it's a breath of fresh air to be able to hear the truth and to know that you're not alone in this. And we know the mainstream media wants you to think that your thoughts are terrible and the Million Mag March wasn't a good thing in DC. It was a good thing. You're not alone. And there's a lot of us out there. And let me tell you, our last three callers that support Trump and don't want a Biden presidency were from LA, Democrat, Brooklyn, Democrat, and Oregon, Democrat. So what does that tell you?
That says that you should go jump over to your app store and get the Wayne Dupree show app. Get the Wayne Dupree app so you don't miss nothing, because the mainstream, the lamestream, or the Twitters, the Facebooks, they're not going to give you the notifications of the bells when we go live. And if we go live on a Saturday night because of breaking news, or a Sunday afternoon because of breaking news, if you've got the app, which is free to you, then you'll always know when we go live. And speaking about being free to you, thank you so much for those of you who support us on Patreon. This platform, this service, the setup. I've done it in the past, and I thank you, Wayne, and Leah, for having me on. But I know how it costs. There's monthly subscription fees. There's platform fees. There's all kinds of. They get you everywhere on these fees. And thank you to the Patreons for allowing this show to come out and to be produced by you guys. There's no commercials, just this.
No, and remember, we bring the audience into our show. As you can see, we have Talk Tuesdays, Talk Thursday. We're bringing you guys in. You're not going to get that from mainstream media. And a lot of podcasts don't do that either. You have to sit and stare at them for an hour, listen to what they have to say. They don't read your comments. They never take your calls. It's just them. It's all about them. We make it about you. And that's how it should be. And you can always jump over to patreon.com/WD show. And from there, you can give $5. You can customize it maybe for Christmas. You want to do a little more, you can do 20. But that's how you get to there. Patreon.com/WD show.
806, you are live. Go.
Hi, is it me?
Yes, 806.
Okay. Yes. There's no way I can accept Biden as president because he's not president. This was obviously fraudulent. Anybody that does not see that, I just don't understand. I can't understand it. This is the Constitution, and people are committing treason right now. They're digging themselves a grave. The Democrats. The further
Let me give you some hope.
It's going to be for them.
I hear you. It sounds like you're kind of sad. Let me give you some hope, 806. I personally believe, I'm a follower of Christ. I have been most of my life, and I'm getting myself even more right now than ever before. But I truly, truly believe in God's plan of things. First off, everything bad happens for the good, but in this big giant plan of things, I truly believe that God is exposing what is wrong with our system so we can get it right. So take comfort in that.
And hopefully he gets any
power. We hope this wakes everybody up.
All right. Thank you, caller.
God bless.
952. We're only going to take a couple more, but 952, please go ahead.
Oh, hello, Wayne.
Hey.
Hey. I'm a long time, first time caller, a long time viewer of your guys' show, and you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
And to answer your guys' question, I could not accept the Joe Biden presidency.
Why is that? Talk to us.
Because what they've done to delegitimize Trump. I mean, Trump has worked very hard to try and help our country, and he's had like bigger rallies and everything, and
You know, when you compare the two, it's like no contrast, because Trump has always been for America and Joe Biden is for the destruction of America.
Mhm.
Well,
Can you guys hear me?
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we're agreeing with you.
Right. And I'll say this. And what's your first name?
It's Quentin.
Quentin from the chat room, or Quentin?
Yeah.
Quentin, this is you.
Yeah,
Quentin, why did you say this is Quentin from the chat room?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, he didn't want to get called out.
Yeah, well, I'm going to call you out anyway, you Brian Lovett. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Quentin, you're awesome. You're awesome, Quentin.
But I like you, Wayne.
Man, look, you have my heart, Quentin, because every time when I see you in the chat room, I know that we're going to have a good show.
We love you, Quentin.
Definitely,
we
bro.
do love you.
To tell you guys the truth, I don't want to keep you guys long, because I've been trying to call every time, and I know, yeah, you guys got busy, lines and everything, but I'm just saying, I caught your guys' show before when I was on Twitter, and I looked at it before, and I was like thinking, well, does it sound interesting? Does it not? I wasn't all that sure. So then I decided to watch it again on Periscope, and was listening to your guys' show, and adding my input like I always do, and you guys took me in, and from then on it just became like a whole new setup for me. So it's like now I'm listening to your guys' show every day, because I feel like you three, Wayne, Leah, and Brian, you listen to people. You're not trying to be better than anybody else.
Right.
You take calls from conservatives or liberals. You guys give the real truth that the media doesn't.
Welcome to the family, Quentin.
I'm sitting there, I'm on Twitter, and I get all these comments and debates and everything, and I hear from so many other people that talk about if things would be better if everyone had turned off their television for a whole week. We would probably be so much better off, because the media are the ones that are indoctrinating everybody.
Yep.
So
that's
all the lies and stuff and everything. So
if there's one thing, and Quentin, I'll let you go, but thank you a lot for calling in. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Quentin.
Thanks.
And I think this is Big Paul. I'm not sure.
So, let me take this mask off.
Is this Big Paul?
Yeah.
Yay! What's up, Big Paul? Yay!
2020 in effect.
All right. What's up, man?
So, yeah, I can't even get to accepting or not accepting it at this point. I'm kind of at the point now. I guess I'm on some of that Oprah secret stuff from back in the day, that it's about fear, it's about faith, and at this point, I'm really just kind of taking a personal spiritual inventory, trying to get as much just factual things as far as with the Electoral College, state legislatures, and it's just kind of a fear of faith thing, because I feel like the people who supported Biden, that they're coming at it from the point of fear. It's the fear of losing this, the fear of not getting that, the fear of what Trump will do, the fear of what Trump won't do. And I feel like our side it's about the faith of what could happen, what we could accomplish, what we could succeed at, what we could do as a nation. So I think for me, it's really just I think if we all just strive to be just the most centered, spiritually fit people right now, well-informed, and just keep doing the next right thing, and as much as we could right now, all together, that our sort of energy could kind of get this thing through the way it's supposed to be.
All right. Hey, well, thank you, Big Paul. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
I'm not gonna hold.
Well said.
I'm not gonna hold what you did to me earlier in the show.
Yeah, Wayne doesn't hold grudges or anything. Trust me.
Peace.
Wayne's full name should be "I hold a grudge."
What I'm gonna do, because again, Thursdays are our Talk Thursdays. we're gonna open up the phone lines for the rest of the week. So if you didn't get in today, listen tomorrow. We'll get you in tomorrow. I promise. We'll get you in tomorrow, or we get you in on Thursday.
Yeah.
But we just want you to know that we are here for you, that this show is here for you. And we want you to subscribe. We want you to click on the notification button. We want you to click on the alerts. So when we do go live, that you're notified and that you know that that your show is on. Honestly, I want to put this out here too, because I want to thank RT and Periscope, YouTube, Rofkin, Parler, and Cloud Hub, especially Parler and Cloud Hub. If you are not following us on Parler and Cloud Hub, make sure that you are following all of us on Parler and Cloud Hub, because those are the platforms that are giving us a lot of freedom in our speech. I'm only going to take a couple more, and that's it. I'm not, because we could do this all afternoon.
No.
But
yeah,
but my people have jobs, and I
haven't eaten yet today.
I'm trying to get them paid. Okay, I'm trying to get them paid, y'all. So if you have $5 a month, or if you have something, you can always go to patreon.com and sign up. $5 a month, $10 a month. And I wasn't able to do this in the past. I am able to do it now, and they will let you know. I pay my co-host.
First time ever getting paid.
No,
I mean from you.
Yeah.
Places in the past, they wouldn't do it. Promises never happened.
I was
6
able
years unpaid.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard for me to even get donations, but to watch other people get donations was, easy. Everybody and I'm looking at people walking by. I'm like, I got to shut down operations, but
times they are changing. And when you're telling the truth, when you're getting good media out like you do, Wayne,
yeah,
you're going to get what you want.
They make a great show, and I really appreciate them being here.
God bless
and their time is worth money. They just don't do. Now they don't bang on my door. Where's my money? Because
we're all in this. We're team. We're team.
I was gonna say so. I was gonna say, would y'all please release my dog now?
Yeah. We gotta let it go. We're gonna let it go.
Thank you, Joe. Joe says we're a great team. We try to be. I try to get them to do the team thing, but it's only once in a while they'll do it. See, every once in a while, twin powers activate.
Where's my? Here's my.
Where's mine? Mine's gone.
Yeah.
I got my tyranny.
Yeah.
I actually have a MAGA mask, but I don't know where it is.
But so we would take a couple more phone calls. I do want to say this. Many of you said that y'all were going to tune to Newsmax. This happened yesterday. Oh wait, how did I get that picture with the Newsmax CEO and Bill?
Wait, what's that?
Oh, my fault. I am so sorry for showing that picture. Newsmax. Newsmax CEO said that they would never become Trump TV, but they are open. As Trump is going to be political and a media force after he leaves the White House, they will be open for him to have a weekly show. So all of you that are pumping up Newsmax and stuff, that's Christopher Ruddy. That's the CEO of Newsmax.
They're all connected to the Clintons, and the Clintons are just the worst political people that have ever existed. They are the worst.
Yeah, there's an
scummiest.
article written about this that talked about how media has the ability to slowly turn moderates to vote Democrat. They have a formula and it works.
It's called spoon feeding. They spoon feed you just a little bit until you get used to it.
Right. Yeah. So they get a whole flux of MAGA voters, and then out of that, they sift through it, and maybe they pick off 5%. Well, that's 5% they didn't have.
Yeah.
The Clintons
careful,
are the
guys.
most corrupt
Be careful.
politicians in the world. That's why she lost. That's why she loses everything. That's why she's accused of everything. And of course, they're connected to Newsmax. That would just make sense. It's like the Kevin Bacon, the 7 connections to Kevin Bacon. Hillary
7
Clinton, you can
degrees.
connect
Yeah.
7 degrees. You can connect Hillary Clinton to almost every single, just
6 degrees.
7, 6, whatever. Give her
6
12.
degrees of Kevin
If it's got-
Bacon. Yeah.
If it's got corruption in it, it's 15 degrees to Hillary Clinton. Oh man, that's disappointing.
413, you are live. Go ahead. Okay. All right.
I hear that.
413, turn down your TV when you call in. If you have signed up for a subscription service on WayneDupree.com, if you're signed up for a subscription service for WayneDupree.com and you're still seeing the ads, remember, you have to log in. Check your email after you sign up for the subscription service. You get your login, you get a password, and at the top right-hand corner, there's a little profile picture. Okay, you click on that and you log in, and you have the website, no ads, great, beautiful environment, and you're helping to pay our writers. All right. Honestly, I wish I was rich. I wish I had a couple $1 million a year so that we didn't even have to do all this. But there are some days when I don't say anything, and then there's some days where we do say something.
Yeah, where we like to bring it up. Yeah.
And on Monday, we might have some good news for you.
Very good news.
We might have some good news for you.
Super cool news.
Ooh. Finally.
Tune in on Monday.
Got to come back.
No, Monday. Next week is Thanksgiving. So we're going to broadcast on Friday next week, but it's going to be the best of. And we're going to have some extras in there, so you're not going to want to miss this.
Yeah, we'll share.
Hey, don't leave us hanging. It's only Tuesday. No, man. You got to in there.
That's Sherry. That's good, Sherry. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we got something good though. Something to be.
Yeah.
That's funny, Sherry.
And everything that you see here, our graphics and the show platform and everything like that, your money is paying for this. All right. We don't have a production crew. Actually,
You are the production crew.
Yeah, you are the production crew. It's called Wayne Dupree.
Yeah.
His name's Wayne Dupree, and he's our production crew.
Yeah.
He's also the host of the show, and he
And-
also controls the board whenever you see the picture flash.
Right. And then when I'm not here, then Brian and Leah take over and
Do what we can.
Yeah, we do our best. I'll tell you, I got to say, this audience today was amazing. So many brand new first-time listeners saying how great it is, and they've clicked the follow button. They want to watch every
Good,
day.
good,
People telling us that they love us, that we've
Love
got
you.
good information, and a lot of them saying thank you for letting our voices be heard. We appreciate other phone calls from other Americans that feel the same way we do. Finally, someone who wants to listen to us. That's what we're here to do.
Well, we're going to do it again tomorrow. I mean, honestly, before I go, this is almost like crack. And I've never had crack, cocaine.
Then what?
I never
We
had.
can say jelly beans instead.
I've never done cocaine, but
There you go.
What-
It's like jelly beans. He's addicted to the jelly bean.
Oh, jeez.
Give me one of those. I'll take one too. It is like jelly beans. I know no one likes popcorn flavored. I do. I don't even care. I like it.
You know what? I'm not racist, but I do not like the brown ones and the black ones.
No, they're nasty.
I don't. I mean,
That's
like-
black licorice, right?
Yeah, it's black
Yeah.
licorice.
No.
Yeah. It's almost like eating a bag of pecans and then hitting that bad nut. You know what? I'm done.
I'm done.
Hey, I gotta read
Oh,
something.
walnuts.
I gotta read. This is really important. Sherry L says the Wayne Dupree show has withstood the test of time. You can count on this show. Very kind heart and souls, and that's true. You. That's why I said he doesn't ride on the coattails of Trump. That's why he'll be around after Trump. Ortez said you guys are the Three Musketeers. I like that.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that Leah, you did AM radio before Trump.
I did
had my
FM.
own show way before Trump ever announced. So
Yeah.
none of the three of us, none of us have rode
I've
the
done.
coattails
I
of
actually
Trump.
did FM. I actually did FM radio show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ever
yeah,
do
it was-
AM?
I did do AM. We had
Oh,
AM
okay.
studio right beside my FM studio. So I did AM news. I did FM radio with music. I did talk. I
wow.
actually had my own magazine column too for a while, and that was all before Trump.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what gets me is that I took a whole month off during the COVID. I didn't know whether I was going to do this again.
I know.
And I mean, just as I took the month off, and then I'll let y'all go, I promise. And then we'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll be taking phone calls. I decided I was going to take a month off, or actually, I decided I was going to take some time off. I didn't know how long it was going to take, and I got Leah's email,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
Leah was like,
Took 3 months.
"You don't know me, but
I don't know you.
I've seen what you do, and if you're looking for a co-host or something like that,
Mhm.
I've spent this much time in radio and whatnot." And I was like, yeah, and let it, and just start reading other emails and stuff. To make a long story short, weeks and weeks after, I was like, okay, it's time for me to get back in. But
6 months later, after ghosting me, hey, bro, what are you doing?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not doing
I could always count on Brian to come in and take over the show when he wasn't part of the show, and I wanted to take like a day or something off. I would say, okay, hey Brian, what are you doing? Nothing. I was, okay, well, how about you coming in and do it? Okay.
Yeah.
So
because I love doing it. I just love it.
right. So I was like, hey Brian, you wanna join the show?
I said, man, don't be playing with me.
He was like,
Here we are.
Don't be teasing.
Someone said a match made for the people.
I was
Oh,
like,
God
let me contact our third person. I didn't try her out. I didn't.
No, he didn't even know what I looked like.
No, I sure didn't. I didn't know that she looked with, as beautiful.
Blue
as-
eyes.
Oh, thank you.
She could have been dog ugly, and I don't say, oh hell no. No, I'm kidding. But when we got together, we kind of felt each other out
Mm-hmm.
in the first couple of weeks and stuff. But when things start rolling on together, and
It's awesome. And now we've become good friends off mic. Off
Yeah.
mic, we've become good friends. I
yeah,
mean, we would do
it's
anything for each
it's
other.
a family thing now. It's a family.
Yeah.
We text
And that's how you
text
get a good
text.
show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll be texting people like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, trying to wake me and Brian up.
Y'all need to wake up.
Y'all up. Hey, y'all up. I got a link.
Ready.
Check out this link.
Check this out.
Check out this link.
But and I think that in order to have something that lasts a long time and that is impressionable and enjoyable, you have to enjoy the people that you work with. You just have to. So that's what I think makes a good team. And someone said how unique we are. We all bring something different to the table. And when you mix it all together, you bake a really good cookie. And this is the result.
509, you are our last call of the day.
Ooh.
How cool is that? Hey, I am a definite Trump supporter, and I will never accept Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a perv. I cannot fathom the idea of him being in charge of our country's children and their education. I mean, it's just going to be awful. And everything that all his he's Joe Manchin, and he has Alzheimer's. Everybody knows it, and there's no way that he won. Fraud was committed. I know that for a fact. I checked the voter rolls in my county, and I put 10,000 miles on my car, and I can tell you that the voter rolls are screwed up. So how can our elections be fair when our voter rolls are screwed up? And every citizen should check their voter rolls because the auditors are not doing their job.
Right.
And my name's Donna Land.
Well, thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. And don't let this be the last time you call, please.
Yeah, make sure you call back.
God bless.
Yeah, I saw this on Parler. On Parler.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Solid, yeah.
Parlor. All right. Love
Make
that.
sure you follow. Yeah.
Okay, well, you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow us on the social media platforms, and don't forget to share the show on social media platforms. We're opening up the lines for the rest of the week, Wednesday and Thursday. If you want to donate to the show, $5 a month, $10 a month, and you can up and lower that anytime you want to. I mean, you can give us $50 this month, and if your budget, Christmas is next month, just lower it to $5.
Yeah, it's customizable.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody asked in the chat room, somebody said in the chat room, will it be the same question because they want to answer that one, or is it a different question tomorrow?
Well, when you call in Thursday or Wednesday, you can answer whatever question you want.
You can answer whatever. Okay, yeah, there you go. So there, you can answer the question if you want, but it might be a different question tomorrow, but you can say what you want.
Yeah. For those that gave us Super Hearts, thank you. That's just like a donation.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Chad.
Just like a donation. We don't know what we're going to get, but
Lila did too, I think. Thanks, Lila.
Last month we got $100, and we got $100
appreciate you.
Yeah, so thank you. All right. Let's see. Any last words, thoughts? Any
Sherry's thinking about Monday. Yep, keep thinking. It'll be here
So yeah,
soon.
we could have a little surprise for you on Monday, something really cool. So just keep watching and waiting, and we look forward to hearing your calls tomorrow.
And remember, Democrats, the reason why they did so bad in the election, and they really did bad in the election because they lost seats in the House.
Oh, they did terrible.
They lost, right. They really did do bad in this election.
And that's what's weird. The Republicans did so great and Trump did bad. There are some suspicious things going on. This isn't conspiracy theory. He got more votes than Obama and stayed in the basement. Come on.
Yeah. But Democrats are trying to say that they didn't say that they wanted to defund the police. And guess what?
Nobody I know who's running for office talks about defunding the police.
Many affluent suburbs have essentially already begun pursuing a defunding of the police.
This movement is not new. This is about investment. I really consider it a refund.
Defunding police means defunding police.
We need to truly cut $1 billion in NYPD spending.
We have this super aggressive police department. So yes, defund your butts.
Not only do we need to disinvest, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
2 House Democrats unveiling a bill. It would take away federal resources from police departments across the nation.
The BREATHE Act is bold. It's meaningful. It's transformative.
I am so proud to endorse Senator Bernie Sanders for president.
This is not just about running for president.
I am endorsing Bernie Sanders because he's not going to sell us out.
Nobody I know who's running for office talks about defunding the police.